Hey guys, this is Kim with Graced with Girls, and if you're new to my channel, I'm a homeschool mom to 4 girls. This year we had a preschooler, a first grader, a third grader, and a sixth grader. And today I wanted to talk to you about what we used for my preschooler for school this year. So for preschool, I love to keep it fun, and I love to do a lot of hands-on activities and games and just a lot of play-based learning, but we do a few things that are bookwork, maybe 1 or 2 pages a day on the days that she feels like doing them. So I don't push preschool work on her, but when she wants to do it like her big sisters, we definitely do that every day. So at the beginning of the year, she wasn't as into sitting down and learning, so we just did a lot of letting her play and letting her be in the classroom, but playing with her own things. And as she got more interested throughout the year, we did more sit down work with her, and I'm gonna show you some of the things that we like to use for the preschool year. So although I do like to keep preschool very hands-on and very play-based, we do like to use a few core things for curriculum just to give us a direction to go and give us a few worksheets to do. So this year, one of the things we're using for language arts is the pre-K course book by The Good and the Beautiful. And I really like this course book. It's very easy and simple and fun, and my daughter really enjoys it. So it just basically does works on letter recognition, and it does about 1 letter every 2 to 3 days. And I have found that my daughter needs a little bit more time with a letter than that when she didn't know any of the letters before. So we tend to add a couple of more days to that and make it a letter a week, but we still enjoy the program. There's also these little flip books that have the letter, the capital letter, and the lowercase letter, and you match them up. And then you match them with the little picture that starts with that same letter. I was having trouble flipping it, but you match them all up, and that's really fun, and she likes doing it. And so it has A through F, G through L, and then M through S, and T through Z. So it's got those little books that came with it also. So because I like to stretch it out and make it more of a letter of the week curriculum, I've added the ABC 1, 2, 3, K4 Phonics and Numbers book from Rebecca and the Writing with Phonics K4 from Rebecca. This just gives me extra worksheets to make the lessons last a little bit longer, and I only have her do 1 phonics worksheet a day and 1 math worksheet a day. So she's not doing a ton of worksheets. Most of our learning is play-based, but I like to have the extra worksheets to pull from when we need them. So this book is really great, and it works on recognizing numbers and counting and recognizing letters and writing them, and some phonics. And then the Writing with Phonics is basically just to practice writing all the different letters. So these are just extra worksheets so that we have something to pull from when I feel like she needs a little bit of extra practice, and they've really come in handy, and she really likes doing them. So the other thing we use from Rebecca are the mini alphabet flashcards, and we just use these as review, and I will just show her a card and we'll use them with a lot of our games and activities just to practice her letters. So one of the things we've absolutely loved this year is the Animal Alphabet Friends flashcards from Rebecca, and these have been so much fun. My daughter has really enjoyed doing these. So it's basically a big flashcard, as you can tell, and it's got 1 for each letter in the alphabet. This one is Dexter Donkey for D, and then it's got all the D words along the side over there. And when you flip them over, it has a little poem about donkeys, and then it has a story that you read, which tells you some information about donkeys, along with a cute little story about Dexter Donkey. And it has comprehension questions at the end for your preschooler to answer once they've listened to the story. It also tells you about the letter D and how to write it. And then it has some learning games and some little learning activities to do along with it. Comes with some fun facts about donkeys and the Dexter Donkey song, which teaches you about the letter D, and she loves doing those songs. And then it has some vocabulary development, which are just the vocabulary of the words on the front of the card. And so these have been so much fun, and she loves doing these. We do 1 every week, and she really loves them, and it helps her remember the letters and their sounds. So for math, I really like to focus on just learning to recognize numbers and counting, and also writing her numbers. So we use the ABC 123 book, and it just has a lot of fun, colorful worksheets on recognizing numbers and writing her numbers. And then we also just like to use some basic numbers and shapes flashcards, and we incorporate these with just a lot of different games and activities to make it super fun. So we did work a little bit on addition this year just because she wanted to and she was interested in it. So I just printed out this simple worksheet, and we like to use some manipulatives for helping her learn what addition really is about. So we just like to buy the little dollar erasers from the Target dollar spot, and I like to do that because they always have fun ones to go with the season. So we've got some cute little summer themed ones right now with sunshines and seahorses and crabs, and so she'll just take those, and whatever number it is, she'll grab that amount of little erasers and put them under it. And then when we say the addition problem, 1 plus 2 equals, she'll slide them all over and count them, and then she can try to write the number. So that's just a fun way to work on math for a preschooler, and she really enjoyed it. So another fun thing that my preschooler has loved this year are the learning games from Rebecca. And I have actually had these since my oldest daughter was in preschool, and all of my kids have really enjoyed doing these. So it's basically just a bunch of different backgrounds with different themes, and then it has little pieces that go along with them that you get to decorate the scenery with. So I just laminated all the little pieces, and we use this all the time. So here's an example of one of the little activity sheets, and the way that we would use these is I would get whatever we're working on, whether it was math or number recognition or letter recognition. We would basically just get out the flashcards, and I would show her a flashcard, and when she gets the answer correct, she gets to pick a piece of the clothing to decorate the little bears with, and they have different kinds of clothing for different weather and different themed clothing. And so it's just a fun way. Instead of just going through flashcards, she actually gets to decorate a little scene or dress up the little bears, and so she really enjoys doing this. So another really fun activity that we use for working on phonics and letter recognition is this ABC Teddy Bear Hospital. This is just a really sweet little game, and you have all of these little teddy bears, some little girls and some little boys with letters on their tummies, and you have the band-aids with the matching letters. So you'll look at the letter on the bear's tummy, and then you'll use some tweezers in a little sensory bin filled with cotton balls and find the letter that matches, put it on the teddy bear's tummy, and then you have the patient hospital chart. You'll flip through until you find the letter that matches, and they'll take their little dry erase marker and trace the letter. So this helps them work on letter recognition. You can make them say the letter sound when they find the band-aid, and then also tracing the letter. So it's so cute and fun, and she really loves doing this one. Another thing I really like to use are the My First Bananagrams, and these are really fun because they're more colorful than the original Bananagrams, and they've just got all the different letters on the tiles in different colors. And then they also have some of the digraphs and just some letter sounds that are put together, like at and the TH sound and different ones like that. So these are really fun and helpful when they're learning all their phonics, and they can build words with them. But sometimes we'll just take one of these letter tiles and just use them kind of like you would a flashcard. But another thing we love are sensory bins. This one has dry beans in it, and I would have her say the letter, and then she would dig in the bin to find an animal. And when she gets the animal out, she would tell me what animal it was. So it's working on recognizing animals and their names along with a letter sound. So for preschool writing practice, we like to use other things besides just paper and pencil. And some of the things that make it really fun are a little salt tray. So this is just a little pencil box, and I filled it with some salt in the bottom. And we like to just take a flashcard with a number or a letter, and she can use those to see how to write the letter and then trace it into the salt. And whenever she's done with that, she can just shake it and it goes away, and she's ready for the next one. So sometimes she uses a pencil and sometimes she uses her finger with that. The other thing we really like is this Etch-a-Sketch boogie board. This one's really fun too, and she loves doing this one. It has a little built-in pencil, and she'll just take the number or letter flashcard and write it on the boogie board, and it writes in rainbow. And then after she writes it, you just shake the boogie board and it disappears, kind of like an Etch-a-Sketch. Another really fun activity for recognizing numbers is this little build a lunch kit. So this is just something I found online and printed and laminated and made a little book, but it has all these different pages with different lunches on them. and it tells you what goes in that specific lunch, and it has a number beside it. So if they're older and they can read, then they're able to read all of these. But since she can't read yet, I basically tell her what it says, like bottle of water or bag of chips, and then point to the number beside it and say, what number is this? And she'll tell me the number and then grab that many of that item and put it on the lunch tray. So this is really cute and she really loves doing it. So this one has one slice of pizza, and you would put the pizza on there and then look at the number 2 and say 2 bottles of water, and she just puts all the different things on there and however many items it says. So it also helps her work on counting. So she had to count out 5 pretzels for this one, and it's just really fun and she really enjoys building a little lunch. So I also like to incorporate a lot of fun learning puzzles and learning games just to make preschool super fun and enjoyable. And right here I have a shapes puzzle and a number puzzle from Melissa and Doug. And puzzles are really great because you can work on multiple things with puzzles. You can take all of the pieces out and then ask her to identify a letter or a number and tell you the sound that the letter makes, and then give her a piece of the puzzle. Then she can tell you what shape it is and then place the puzzle into the right spot. So puzzles are great for working on multiple things at once, plus it's fun for them and they love doing little puzzles. So the next activity that I have here is the Tangos Junior. This game is really good for multiple ages because it has cards inside of it that go from easy to difficult. And right now, my youngest daughter can just do the easiest starter ones because it shows you the outline of the shapes. But in this little tray, it has all the different shapes and you just place them where they go. And sometimes you have to flip them over or turn them around to make them fit. So it's really great for working on spatial recognition and just really fun. And she loves doing this activity. So a couple of other learning games that we really like is this BrainBox Pictures game for ages 3 and up, and it's made by Mindware. And this is really great for just working on memory. So the way that this game works is it has all of these different picture cards in it. And like this one has all of these different food pictures on it. So you would give them, I think it's 10 seconds, the length of the timer, to look at the card and try to memorize what's on it. And then it has little questions on the back, like how many fruits are shown in the picture and can you see 1, 2, or 3 carrots? So they try to remember what's on the front, but when we first start out with this game, I'll ask her the question and then let her actually look at the front of the card and tell me what the answers are. Once they get more used to the types of questions that are being asked, then they can focus on their working memory and trying to remember what is on the front of the card so they don't have to look back at it. And this just is a really fun way to help them work on memory. So another game that we like to use is the ICD10 Math game by Learning Resources. And this game originally is a little bit too advanced for her because it's working on adding numbers to 10. So the way that I use it with her is we like to play this game with my other daughters too. And so what we'll do is I'll kind of be her partner. And what you do in the game is you take turns flipping over these tiles and finding the numbers. And when you see 2 numbers that make 10, you say, I see 10, and then you call out the 2 numbers that make 10. So the way that I use it with her is I'll call out I see 10 and then I'll tell her, okay, find the number 6 and the number 4, and she has to find those numbers. So it's basically just working on number recognition for her, and the other girls work on adding while we're doing this. So we play this together as a group and it works out really fun. The other thing that I do with her that we also do as a group is Bible time. So for Bible time for my preschooler, we like to use Indescribable 100 Devotions About God and Science by Louis Giglio. This one is really great for preschoolers because it's short lessons that they can pay attention to, and it teaches a science concept. It has a verse that you read, a little short paragraph about the science lesson, and then it gives you a prayer to say with your kids, and then a fun fact about whatever you're learning. And so it has a bunch of different science topics, and she is interested in these, and so we do these together as a family. The other thing I like to do with her is read her stories from the Jesus Storybook Bible. This one's really great because it has lots of colorful pictures, and she just sits down beside me and we read the stories, and they're very easy for her to understand and just have a little bit of Bible stories incorporated into her school day. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the things that we use for our preschooler this year. If you would like to see more videos like these, please like and subscribe, and I'll be posting another video soon. Thanks for watching.